woven together with bricks and mortar, hour by hour, marked by the bell, minute by minute, kept a city in order, day by day. Now it's a shell.
The city of Biddeford, Maine embodies the image of a historic New England factory town. Impressive brick buildings perch on the banks of the Saco River, blending the natural landscape with prominent features of industry. Generations of people were drawn to work in these textile mills, turning cotton into cloth and hard work into a paycheck. Day by day, the lives of these individuals were guided by one special structure, the Lincoln Mill Clock Tower. Upon its installation in 1853, the clock tower graced the city's skyline for over 150 years, overlooking the entire mill complex with its 3 million square feet of space, 100 million bricks, millions of tons of granite, and millions of opportunities. The clock tower's bell marked the start and end of shifts and regulated the ebb and flow of workers. In a sense, the edifice served as the heartbeat of Biddeford and symbolized community pride.
And these clock towers were kind of the very symbol of these early mills. When you travel all over New England, in New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Connecticut, most of these clock towers now are gone because they required, the roof be painted, the thing be maintained, and there weren't people around with the resources that saw the value in putting them into those things, and most of them are lost.
In pace with the decline of New England's textile industry, the tower was removed from its position atop Lincoln Mill in 2007 due to concerns about its safety. Its bell and weather vane sold off. It was left alone to weather the ravages of time on the side of the street.
One of the greatest tragedies that ever took place in the city of Biddeford was when the tower came down maybe 6, 7, or 8 years ago. I think that was wrong. Oftentimes as a state legislator, I travel through cities and towns, and they have all these wonderful historical buildings, and I keep thinking that some of those buildings in Biddeford that I remember as a kid have been torn down, and I think what a tragedy that is. And so here we have this icon, this tower, that I think should be preserved, and I want to make sure that we do our best to make sure that we can raise enough money to preserve it so that other people cannot fully understand what it meant in one particular time for the city of Biddeford.
So far, the clock tower has endured. Recognizing its symbolism, numerous individuals in the community have attempted to save the icon from impending demolition. But now, the youth has realized to save this important piece of history from destruction, that they need to step in and use their own voice. Everyone of every age knows someone who worked behind those brick walls. A family member, an ancestor, a neighbor, a friend. Their work ethic built this community, and we, the youth, think their efforts deserve recognition.
So if we take that one image that's been so negative for the longest time and turn it into something positive and bring the community together to move that clock tower and to restore it and have it become a permanent fixture in the museum, then you're doing right for yourselves and you're doing right for the community.
Despite the clock tower's current state, the youth of the city, intrigued by the story behind the weather-stained facade, have joined the discussion about its significance as a landmark.
They have all these names carved in there. Like those were people not wanting to be immortal per se, but wanting to be eternal. They want to be remembered. One of humanity's biggest fears is not being remembered. So I think it's kind of our duty to them, to these people who wrote their names in there, to save their names and have them live on for at least as long as we can. If there's an option to save their names, to save their hard work, I think we should take it.
Despite the support expressed for the clock tower's historical preservation and its restoration to a prominent place in the cityscape, the unfortunate truth remains. In order to save the clock tower, some specific tasks must be completed by experts. The first task is shoring up the structure for removal from its current location next to the Lincoln Mill. Teams of workers will then address the electrical wires nearby and initiate the delicate operation of lifting the tower onto a flatbed truck. The tower will then be transported to a secure location on the Pepperell Mill campus, where restoration activities can begin.
But whichever place is its last place to reside will be fortunate for the city of Bedford and Southall, because it will be a remembrance of how things were 100 years ago.
Your contribution to this fundraising campaign will help ensure that the clock tower, along with the mills in this proud city, will rise again.
It's time.
It's time.
It's time. It's definitely time.
Definitely time.
It's time to save the tower.
It's time to bring back the pride.